find it a bit annoying when people say that Stoic heroes don't have any personality, especially when a writer finds themselves at the helm of a franchise that features one and expresses the sentiment that the hero lacks depth or humanity and that they wish to explore and expand these traits in their story. What usually happens as a result of this is that the writer's definition of depth and humanity may be at odds with what was previously established about the character, leading them to inconsistent behavior. It's almost as if the writer feels the need to overcompensate. If there's one thing I think a lot of these people are missing, it's that stoicism is integral to their personality. They put their personal feelings aside for the sake of completing the goal. By inserting a hero's personal desires into a plot, it can have the unwanted effect of them coming across as selfish or incompetent, where once they were motivated by a sense of duty or an inherent desire to help, they are now taking action because of what they personally have to gain from doing so. Just because the hero is the main character, it does not mean that they need to be the emotional centerpiece of your story, nor does your story require a character arc in order for it to be compelling. Something to consider is that a stoic hero typically has a strong influence on the people around them just from the example they set, especially when that character's own convictions are fragile. What this means is that other people can have the character arc. When other people falter, the hero remains steadfast, essentially acting as a beacon of hope for those who need it. An example I like to refer to is 343's Halo games and how it basically took them until Infinite for their more introspective Master Chief to work. Instead of dealing with his emotional journey, we are given the Pilot, a character so beaten down he's borderline pathetic. He is a coward. He has given up. So when the Chief enters his life and keeps fighting, he can't comprehend it. Once it gets to a breaking point, the Chief basically has to take a moment and reflect on his own shortcomings in order to help the Pilot deal with his. It is entirely possible to explore the humanity of a stoic hero by how others respond to them. Not by making them show big emotional outbursts, but by exploring specifically why they don't. None of this is to say that you can't explore a more personal story or test the hero's conviction. These narratives can be downright inspired when executed properly. The issue arises when, in construction of these stories, the core values and behaviors of the hero are sacrificed. As a Metroid fan, Samus is a very effective example of a stoic hero. She is someone who frequently takes on excessively dangerous missions without being deterred, taking on threats that others would have no hope against, sometimes simply because she just wants to help. One of the biggest instances of this is in Metroid Prime 2 when Umos pleads with Samus in order to save his species. She's under no obligation to help him as she's technically already accomplished her mission by the time the conversation takes place and is well within her right to leave once her ship is fixed. She takes on the Ing because she cares. Contrast this with Metroid Other M, where despite stating a desire to stay for the sake of helping the team, a lot of the reasoning behind her actions are tied directly to her personal feelings towards Adam Malkovich. Actions that lead to her and others getting hurt. Even worse is when the story has her display emotional outbursts in dire situations that lead to the deaths of several characters. There are ways to explore someone like Samus in a more personal manner, and while I think that Metroid Dread may have redirected her a bit too much, given how the story deals heavily with her history as a Chozo, when she was asked for help, I was happy enough to hear her say, "Ana maril sanur pura, ay marhel kalom."